Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become.
So once you have a dream, start it. You have all the time in the world. Start it. Don't go to bed thinking, all right, I'm tired, it's not gonna happen. Go to bed thinking it's gonna happen.
Doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, whatever that is, you can literally show the world nothing is impossible. No excuses.
All you can do is change the present and hope that it affects your future. Because that's all we have control over is the present. So it's possible. It's possible. Pick yourself up and work harder. You can do it.
First, you got to know what you're doing. Then you got to start doing it all the time. And then if you just put enough time in that box, you'll get to a place where you don't even need to think about it. You just start doing it. And I really do think that can be applied to even psychological things and things you just want to change about your outlook on life.
Work your ass off, because every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass off. But it was pleasure. See, that is the great thing. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun, a challenge. It's entertaining sometimes.
One is a belief in what you're doing. Like Muhammad Ali believed so much he was a champion. He said he was a champion before he was a champion. That's a belief. It has to be that way. That's the steering wheel of life, the direction. Then what's going to fire that through is the engine.
And we didn't care. Oh, I'm going to fail. So what? Watch me fail again. Watch me fail 10 times. Watch me fail 20 times when you quit on the first time, and watch me get back up and then win. That's just the type of guy I am. Since lockdown, since 14 years old, it's always been, you know what? Watch this. Watch this. Or don't. I'm going to do it anyway. Even if you don't fucking watch.
You have to take full responsibility for your life, bro. You cannot be outsourcing your problems to other people. It is your life and your responsibility. Every one of you watching this video, it's your life and your problems. Take responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. Even if someone else on your team fucks up, it's still your fault. You're the one who hired that person. Don't ever blame other people.
It does not matter what you did yesterday. It does not matter what you did last year. It does not matter that you were the biggest deal ever 5 years ago or 10 years ago. What matters is what are you doing today?
If you are trying to become the best version of yourself, you need to fabricate pressure. You need to fabricate discomfort. You need to fabricate putting your back up against the wall. The worst thing that I see happen to entrepreneurs earlier in their career or later in their career is that they gain comfort.
Every day you get 3 new things. You know who taught me this? Steve Jobs years ago. He told me, look, if you get the 3 things done every 18 hours you're awake, you don't have to worry about the long run because you're going to be so effective, so powerful, but nothing can distract you. The problem with it is it makes you kind of a mean guy because you don't waste your time. Somebody walks in and says, hey, what about the Knicks? You say, I don't give a shit about the Knicks. I'm getting this thing done.
1 year of being intentional got me an Olympic gold medal. Just 1 year.
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year. Because what you did in that year is you changed your outlook, you changed your approach. So a lot can happen in a year.
I've had many movies go in the toilet. I've lost bodybuilding competitions and powerlifting competitions and all that stuff. So I had plenty of failures. It's always important to bring that up because people should know that you never will be able to go through life without failures. Failures make us learn. Failures make you stronger. Pain makes you stronger. So I think all of that is good.
It's not about passing. It's about getting 100. Aim to be the best. Aim to score a perfect score, because if you aim high and you miss, you're probably still going to do pretty well.
Every single day of your life. Today is the only day you have. That's why it's called the present moment, because today is a gift from God. Make the most of each day. So whenever you have an idea of doing something in business or in your life in general, ask yourself, how can I make sure I get this done today? Don't delay anything until tomorrow unless you think it's not important. Anything that you want to get done, it has to be done now. The key to moving quickly is making quick decisions. It's not physically running quicker. It's not physically typing quicker. The key to moving fast is to decide on things quickly and to get clarity. And you get that from making quick decisions. I have something on my wall behind me which says, don't take more than 7 seconds to make a decision.
is to say to yourself, I want to move from a place of average to a place of excellence. I've always been taught that I have to be and become extraordinary.
When you want to do something in life, nothing should stop you. Most of us listen to people who say bad things about us, what you can't do, what is wrong. I think I'm somebody who doesn't listen to anybody. If somebody is telling me that you can't do this, I'll only see their lack of imagination or their stupidity. Because if I can see it clearly, there's nothing in life, if you are able to put in effort and time and required energy or actions towards something, there's nothing in life which you cannot achieve, is what I believe.
And I profoundly believe that you are one decision away from a different life.
The number one thing you got to do, and I've learned this the hard way, and now if I have to go back to each one, I'd make sure I didn't make this mistake. You got to pick 3 things every day to get done. 3 things. That's called the signal. Everything else that stops you from getting the 3 things done, that's the noise. What's the ratio between signal and noise? 80% signal, 20% noise. You don't do anything else to get your 3 things done. That's how you advance your mandate, your business, and your personal self become successful. Get focused.
And one of my mentors told me something that I've never forgotten. Run towards the hardest problems. At the time, I'm not sure I really knew what that meant, but I now realize this was the best advice I've ever received. Hard problems really teach you what you're capable of.
The world is just a reflection of yourself. The only perspective that you're ever going to experience is your own, so you might as well just make it the best as possible.
And it's about how bad do you want it. It really comes down to that. So you should know that deep down inside you can do it. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it? A lot of times I think that people think they can't do it, and I believe they can. It's just, do they really want to? Do you really want to spend that much time doing it?
Failure introduces us to things that winning couldn't show us. Because when you win, you think you have it all figured out. You think, all right, I won. I don't need to change anything. I'm good. But failure can introduce you to a part that you realize that, okay, then my success didn't show me that. But my failure taught me that, hey girl, we need to work at this a little bit more. There's another approach. We can try another way. We can go through this gate and we'll end up at the same place.
Every single day, you are not planting trees. Every single day, you are planting seeds. And you are not going to see that sprout out of the soil for 6 to 12 months. And what's beautiful about this is that if you're working hard right now in your younger 20s, if you plan on working hard for the next decade, I'm now 31, I'm starting to fucking grab produce from the seeds that I planted 9 years ago.
The larger the problem, the smaller the solution. The bigger the dream, the smaller the actions are that you need to start taking.
Each day has to be like a mission. You need to wake up and know exactly what you want to do. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't know what I want to do. I know today what I have to do. Every day you wake up, you need to have a plan. I'm doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. And you got to make sure you don't go to bed until all those tasks are ticked off. It is impossible for you to go to bed until them tasks are done. That's how your mindset needs to be. If it's not like that and you're like, oh, it's okay, it's 10 p.m., I guess it's time for bedtime, you'll never be successful. You have to have honor. You have to keep your word. If I say I'm going to do this today, it has to get done. Otherwise, I'm not sleeping. It could be 4 in the morning, 7 in the morning. It's irrelevant.
Yes, you need to work really hard, but also understand that luck matters. And over time, I've come to believe that the best people find ways to make their luck. Luck is not just being in the right place at the right time. It is taking the risk to work on something really hard. It's challenging yourself. It's choosing problems where you may not know the answer. It's surrounding yourself with people who make you better. And yes, it's believing that you, the class of 2026, can change the world.
The reality is that if you want to become an incredible entrepreneur and you want to become the best version of yourself, almost half of your time needs to be spent on self-development. And the reason why so many of the lessons that I give in these videos are not about anything to do with building a business is because if you do not turn yourself into the man or woman that can handle your goals, then once you achieve those goals, they will fall through your hands. And I have seen soft men build incredible businesses or be on their way to build incredible businesses, and before they even achieve their goal, it falls through their hands because they are not the man capable of being able to handle these responsibilities.
Everything has a purpose and an end state. There's a direction to a designation. If you don't like the designation you're going to, well, you can't change that overnight. You cannot change it overnight. But you can change the direction overnight.
Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop asking people who have no idea what's going on or what dreams you're trying to chase or where you're coming from or where you're heading. You have to start paying attention and listening to your own voice. That's the only voice that's important, your voice, because your voice is the most important voice in the room. That's the relationship you want to focus on, the relationship with your voice. The minute you change that relationship, you start to understand that, okay, this is what Shelly wants. This is what, Mel wants. And this is what you're going to chase. Stop focusing on the voices that are external. Those are just white noise. They're not important, right? Because they don't understand what it is to be in the moment, chasing something that's great, chasing something that you want, that you have committed to, that you have decided to.
Great things take time and they happen when you least expect them. As long as you're doing the work you need to do on a day-to-day basis, the great things will happen. You just have to have no expectation of when they're going to happen or how they're going to happen. Just do the shit you know you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and it's as simple as that.
People that say they're just unlucky, I feel like I could go into their body, into their lives, and just be way more successful, because most of success is just a mindset shift and just being really consistent.
I have only one thing in mind. Whatever we do in life, be honest and be truthful, whether it is relationship or whether it is work.
There's a saying, the enemy of great is good. And the reason that is because when comfort infests itself into you, you can't become great because you don't have the ambition, you don't have the drive, you don't have the will that you had before. And the key to overcoming this is to continuously set bigger goals and bigger goals and bigger goals.
The only dream that hasn't been met is the one that you haven't started.
And you have to grind and grind and grind, and you can do it. So I just wanted to make this short video to indicate that I think it's possible.
My success is not a coincidence. I grew up dreaming to be a Gurkha. So that was my childhood dream. We didn't even have flip-flops. Forget the food. We didn't even have to eat meat. We had to wait for a big festival like Christmas. When I joined for the Gurkha, when I went for the selection, there were 32,000 people applying for it.
Wow.
And only 230 can make it. So you can do the ratio how tough it is. But I really wanted to be in the Gurkha. So when I was 15, 16 year old, I used to wake up at 1 o'clock at night. And I used to go without permission. I used to run 30 kilometers in the morning before anybody finds out, and I come and pretend I'm waking from my bed, and I used to walk with a toothbrush and toothpaste, pretending I have never left the compound. Coming from Nepal, we never know about the special forces, so I joined in the Gurkhas, and then we started hearing about names. There's a thing called UK Special Forces, like SAS and SBS. So they operate from air, water, underwater and land, everything. So I was yes, I want to be part of that cool group. I used to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I carry 75 pounds in my back, and I run 20 kilometers. Then I arrive at the military barracks. Then I start my normal military running. That could be 8-miler run, or assault training, or whatever that military physical training is. I do that. Then because I was with the engineers, that means I was on this kind of like building any structure finisher. So the whole day we're like plastering the wall and doing that. So it's full on labor work. And in the evening I run that 20 kilometers back again, clean fatigue. I go to the gym and then I cycle 64 kilometers on the push bike.
This is one day?
One day. And then like coming from Nepal, it's a landlocked country. I had never swum. Swimming is my like weakest thing. And I front crawl swim 100 lane in 25-meter pool. And I did like that for 6 months, 6 days. When you go on the selection, they will just like the instructor, the DS we call it, directing staff would call it, hey, come here, fucking tell me a joke. And the Nepalese joke is completely different to English sense of humor. So every day I used to prepare different jokes, and I used to go in front and I used to say like different jokes, and this is how much I was prepared, and this is how much I was willing to give. And yeah, in 200 years of history, I became the first Gurkha ever to pass the selection for SBS.
Wherever I point the finger of blame is also where the power follows. It's like power follows blame.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what am I going to do about it? Because maybe they did wrong. It doesn't really matter. It's only me who can own my own future, because otherwise they're going to own my future for the rest of my life. And then the people that I hated the most owned me. That was the thing. So so it was like, so these people that I hated and blamed, then flipping it from the blame to they own me, they have power over me. I was like, I never want them to have power over me.
Whereas back when I was doing it, I needed to find resources. I needed to figure everything out. And now today you can Google. So it's completely different. So I think that if I were starting today and I had some brilliant idea, I'd say just don't be afraid of risk. Go for it. Take calculated risks and be smart. And then if it doesn't work, you're going to pivot to something else. It's not a failure. You're just learning. It's lessons.
If you look in the mirror and you frown upon yourself, you created that. That's not an accident, it's a habit. It's like you look in the mirror and you smile because you see excellence. That's not an accident, it's a habit. You guys need to start taking responsibility for your actions. When you start taking responsibility for your actions, you start to find the belief in what you're doing, the passion behind it. You create value in what you're doing.
You're no different from me, bro. Like, I hope this story has put into your head nothing but damn, Brez is a normal kid like myself that just did what was necessary to get to the position he's in. And that's really the truth. Anyone that you see out there online is no different than you. They just did the things they know they needed to do on a day-to-day basis to get them into the position where they are now, and they just stayed consistent with it long enough and went through enough failures to make it happen for themselves.
The difference between winners and losers is that the losers just continue to think through the ideas and the winners act. And you want to know the best way? You want to know the best way to come up with an incredible product? Like yesterday, someone asked me, how do I know that the taste is perfect? I've tried 50 options and I think I like 10 of them. Release it. The consumers are going to tell you.
When they are about to commit to do something, to be a founder, to start a business, don't listen to the people that are naysayers, that are telling you don't do it because you're going to fail. You shouldn't care about failure. It makes, we talked about earlier, failure makes you more valuable. The empirical data says even if you fail, you're worth more to the market. Even an employee, even if you go back to become an employee, you're worth more. If you go out, you're an employee now, and you quit your job, and you create a business, and you fail. You're still worth more. The original business will hire you because of what you know now. The new guys will hire you and pay you more.
Competitors, yeah.
This is why I tell them the risk is to stay and keep doing what you're doing, which is nothing.
Because when you fail, you realize, okay, then the next thing is you know how you're going to do the next thing. It tells you how. So you have to don't look at failure as separate. It's not the opposite of success. It's not. It's actually a part of it. Failure is a part of success.
When you finally achieve that success, you look back at those moments and you realize how crucial those times were in order to get to where you now are. So looking back at those moments, I realized that I was learning something from them, and they were what got me to where I am today. But in the moment, it felt like shit.
decide who you want to be, decide on, just where you want to end up in the next 5-10 years. And every morning that you get up, you decide to put one foot in front of the other and say, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be extraordinary. I'm going to be excellent. Because that's the only way. The minute you change your mindset is the minute you start to tap into that unfiltered, raw truth, strength, boldness that we all carry.
My goal personally has been to dissect decisions and think like, is this a decision that I'm making because I believe this or because of what I want other people to think about me as a result of this decision? And we're social beings. We care about what other people think. And I don't think we're ever going to like get completely rid of that from us. I mean, you'd have to be, Gandhi or whoever,
Right,
Buddha, right?
When I said I want to be a world champion in bodybuilding, it was impossible. When I said I want to get into movies, that was impossible. So it was always impossible. So I felt that we can go and defend ourselves from that and just not listen to the naysayers. But if I start having a plan B, then all of a sudden I'm becoming, in a way, a naysayer to myself.
Wow, yeah, true.
So because that means now that I'm saying, well, maybe this isn't working out. And if it's not working out, we should have a plan B. So to me, this is the most dangerous of all of the naysayers, is me saying no, and it's impossible maybe to myself. So therefore, I felt the best way of handling that is not to have a safety net and not to have a plan B.
Commit, execute, go do it, and a third of the time, you may be successful.
Our lives that we live in today are the product of a past version of ourselves and the actions that person took. We are living in a material reality that was created by the version of you that was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Okay, if you're fat, you don't have to accept that you're fat. The reason you're fat is because that weak motherfucker that you used to be is what's created that outcome. And whatever you're taking actions today on is going to produce another result 2-3 years from now.
Nothing happens when you expect it to happen. Like, your breakthrough doesn't happen completely aligned with when you think it should happen. It's like in business, you spend months working on something just for it to fail, and then you give up. But if you don't give up, you end up realizing that a month, 2 months, maybe even a couple weeks, whatever, it happens when you least expect it, and then everything just goes like this.